Welcome to African Women in the Diaspora with your host, me, Ngozi Jason. And this is season 2. Can you believe it? We're already in season 2. And today, our very first guest for season 2 is a woman that I really, really love so much. She's so hardworking. She's so courteous. She's so organized. I like this woman so much. So I'm just going to stop gushing. Let me stop, what have they say? Famzing. Let me stop famzing and allow her to introduce herself. But the only thing I'll tell you is that her name is Tobore. And Tobore, I'm sorry, your surname, you have to tell me how to pronounce your surname. Moropo, I think.
That's it.
Correct.
That's it.
Okay,
You're
Moropo.
correct.
It's not as bad as I thought it was. So her name is Tobore or Moropo, and Tobore is the founder or convener of Nigerian Women in the UK. Let me just allow Tobore introduce herself to you. Tobore, please take it away.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tobore and Imoropo. I am the founder of Nigerian Women in UK. I'm also, by day, I'm also a Scrum Master. And in the evenings, in my spare time, I run the group as well as my other charity in Nigeria, as well as my other digital businesses. I'm married with 3 kids.
Wow. I told you that this woman, she's a superwoman. She's so organized. I don't know how she does all these things that she does. Running a charity in Nigeria, running a digital business, her day job, and then with the Nigerian women in the UK is enough work for one person. I know because I'm a member of that community. So I know. So today you know how we do it in Nigerian women. Sorry, I said Nigerian women. You know how we do it in African women in the diaspora. We tell our stories, we tell our success stories. No matter how little someone thinks your success story is, it is still a success story. And Tobore, as far as I'm concerned, is a successful woman. Living in the UK alone as an immigrant is enough for me. That's success enough. But she's living in the UK. She has 3 kids. She's a married woman. She's doing her business. She's doing her job. She's running a community for Nigerian women. And that's a lot. And she's doing all these things successfully. So I just want Tobore to tell us a little bit about herself. I'll just ask 1 or 2 questions. We just gist about life in the diaspora, especially in the UK, and just various things. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, I think you came in here when you were a young girl, right? You came to the UK as a young girl. Yeah. So can you share your journey, living Nigeria as a young girl? I have a nephew. He just turned 19 this year, but he's been living in the UK since he was 16. So I try to imagine, and his parents are still in Nigeria. My younger sister and her husband are still in Nigeria. He came here, and so I know that he had quite a number of challenges. So can you just tell us, how it has been since you moved from Nigeria to the UK, and what motivated the move?
I came in when I was 16 as well. And I was very grateful to live with a wonderful uncle and auntie. And I call them mom and dad. But my dad he's passed now about 2 years now. They were very wonderful people. They really made my life beautiful. It was really amazing spending my formative years with them. They were really loving, really kind. They taught me a lot. So I didn't really miss home. I didn't really miss home that much because it was such a pleasant experience with them.
Mm.
But I came because I was always unwell back home. I was always quite sick. Since I came here, I've not been sick. So that's good. So I needed a change in weather and I wanted to study. So I came in here as a student and it's been an amazing time. I've been much healthier than I was when I was back home.
Yeah, I can relate with that because my daughter, she just turned 12 last month. When we were living in Nigeria, we lived in Port Harcourt. She had this issue with her eyes. Her eyes were always red. Always. They kept on giving us lots of, eye drops to use. And all the doctors we met said it had to do with, the air in Port Harcourt, all those
Yes.
burning of things in Port Harcourt. And since we came into this country, she hasn't had that eye issue anymore. If we hadn't come to the UK, we would have definitely left Port Harcourt. Maybe we would have gone to Abuja or something just because of that girl. And since we came here, the eye issue, and we don't live in a bustling place like London or Manchester. We live in a little town where the air is really, really clean. So I can really relate with that. So living in the UK as a teenager, I mean, that is the time that people are usually more influenced. apart from when they are little children, but teenagers, your teen years, those are the years that you get easily influenced. So how was it living in the UK as a teenager?
I think because I already, when I came, my uncle just told me, Tobore, you go to school, you come back home. And for me, I'm the kind of person that I understand delayed gratification and
Mm,
I like to follow rules. I like
mm,
rules. So when I go anywhere, I like to find out what are the rules of this place and then I
mm.
stick to them. That's just generally my attitude, my behavior. So when he told me just go to school and come back, I was okay with that. So I would go to school, come back home. I didn't really go out. Once in a while, I would go to the cinema with him and mom. But I didn't mind, and I knew it was for a time. I knew the time would come. I'll go to university. I'd be my own person. So in the time I was with them, I was just learning, understanding the British culture, knowing what to do. But I've always been, the kind of children you have, right? So I'm that child that has never really given my parents any stress.
Hmm.
And I always just like to do what is right and make them proud. It wasn't that difficult. You know what's right, you know what's wrong. You just stick to the right things, right?
Yeah.
I know what the rules are, so I obey them. It's just that simple.
Yeah, but it's not that easy because everybody knows what the rules are, but not everybody wants to obey them, especially when you're very young. So didn't you ever feel tempted when you see your other friends, doing some things, dressing a certain kind of way, or going to the mall or parties or sleepovers or whatever? Didn't you ever feel like maybe I'm missing out on something?
I
Really?
knew that the time would come when I would do that freely. And that's what I tell my daughter. I say
Mm,
to her, there's a time for everything. And I keep telling them that there's a time for everything. This time is for you to study. It's time for you to make something of yourself. Then when the time comes, the thing they are chasing after, they will be the ones chasing after you. So
that's
my
true.
focus was to do what they sent me here to do, to study, to be somebody. And then everything else will follow. So no, I wasn't under any pressure. Boyfriends was not my thing. I just wanted to focus on my books.
Mhm.
I wanted to just be what I was sent here to be, and that was my priority.
Wow. It must be that's your every parent's prayer. Your every parent prays to have a child like you that just obey the rules and regulations. Don't argue. Just do as I say.
No,
Just do it.
yeah,
Don't argue with me. Don't tell me but my friends are doing this, but my friends are doing that.
no.
That's really awesome. That's really awesome. And then
I'll tell you
since
something.
yeah.
Because of that way I teach as well. I say that to my daughter as well. So there was a day I said to her, I want to see, she's starting secondary school. She started it yesterday,
Mm,
Wednesday. So I said to her, I want to see the kind of bags your colleagues are carrying, your friends.
mhm,
Then I'll buy you a bag. And then she said, Mommy, I'm not doing what others are doing. I'm doing what I want to do. And I remember that I'm the one that told you that you don't do what others are doing. Don't copy others. But I said, yes, I get that. But I said, I don't want you to get picked on. I don't want to buy you a brand that everybody will make fun of you.
mhm,
So I'm not buying you a designer, no, but
mhm,
I'll just want to have an idea. I
mhm,
don't want to get what I would use for you,
mhm.
so you don't get picked on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so that was it. So it's not that I was doing it to show off. I
Mhm.
said I'm doing it just so that you don't get picked on. That's the reason behind
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah, because at that age they like to blend in. They don't really like to stand out too much. They like to
Yeah.
blend in. Especially, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm thinking that blending in thing. It may be mostly with girls. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's just from my little observation. I think that girls may like to blend in more than guys. I don't know. I could be wrong. So I don't know. Maybe I should go and do that research and find out for sure. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing because it's in this kind of environment. Sometimes it's not good for the children to stand out too much. Obviously, yeah, so that they don't get picked on by their mates. It's good to stand out, but there has to be like a balance. There has to be a
Maybe by
balance.
next year. Maybe by next year, once she's made her friends, she's settled, then let loose. But you don't want to be on the fence and everybody saying, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
she," you know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And we
So
worry
that brings
about the
me to
kids
my
too
next
much.
question. And how has your identity as an African woman evolved since you've been living here? Have you changed? Do you think you've changed? And if you have, how have you changed?
We grow, right? We always grow. And I can speak my language, my tribe. I'm from Delta State. I'm a Robo. So I've always been able to speak and understand my language. And that was one thing I was a bit worried about, that coming here, having not really speaking it, everyone speaks English around me, you know, will I still be able to speak it? But many years later, almost 30 years later, I'm still able to speak my language. I'm teaching my kids. I'm very proud of my culture. I've joined the Robo Union.
Mm,
attend parties. I'm mixing with people. I'm doing this now in my is
mhm,
the younger years. I didn't do it as much.
mhm.
Maybe because my priorities were different then. My
Yeah.
priorities were focus on get my education, start working, sort myself out, get married, have the kids. Now that I be older, I'm freer and I have more time for myself. I'm like, okay, now let's see what are the things that I can do, and also introduce them to the culture so they know where they have come from. So it's evolved over time. I'm now very much involved in things to do with my culture. I'm proud of where I'm from.
Mhm,
I love being Nigerian, African. I think we're amazing people. And that's another reason part of the community, Nigerian women in the UK, is also celebrating that culture. We're British, but we also have that Nigerian identity.
mhm.
So it's celebrating the beauty of both cultures.
Exactly. 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 You're absolutely right. Exactly. Because I also noticed, I don't know if it has to do with age or living outside my home country. I wasn't as concerned about Nigerian culture when I lived in Nigeria as I am
Mm,
now. Now I'm really concerned about my Nigerian culture. I want to portray it, everywhere I go. I want people to know I'm Nigerian. Even in my clothes, I like to wear a lot of Ankara clothes, especially on Sundays when I want to go to church. Back in Nigeria, I didn't care. As long as the dress is
mm,
fine, I don't care where it's from. I'll wear it. But now I speak pidgin English a lot here, which I hardly did in Nigeria. But here I speak even in church. And Nigerians, everywhere we go, we dominate.
yeah.
So my church has lots of Nigerians. So when we communicate, we speaking pidgin English and everybody looking at us. What are you even talking about? What that guy saying? So I can really relate with that. I can relate with it. And so did you have to make any cultural adjustments when you came here? Because you said in the first question I asked you, you said you needed to understand the British culture so that you'll be able to, blend the two cultures. So did you have to make any adjustments? And if you did, was it challenging? How did you navigate it after living for 16 years in Nigeria and then moving here? And you didn't come with your parents, even though you lived with, a nice and accommodating couple, but your parents were not here. So, was it challenging for you?
It wasn't because I was young. I think,
Yeah,
and that's the thing, the beauty of it when children migrate. I think it's the parents that suffer more than the kids.
yeah, yeah.
The parents are the ones that experience all this culture shock and are like, "Oh," the kids blending.
Yes.
So I wouldn't say I really struggled. No, I didn't really. And also, I watch a lot of American and British movies before I came here. So I kind of understood what
Yeah.
things were like. And my auntie, so my uncle is Urobo,
Uh-huh.
rest his soul, and he married a white British lady. So
Oh.
she taught me a lot of things. She's like, Tobore, this is how to lay the table. Tobore, this is gotcha pudding, and this is this is broccoli, and this is this. And so we would cook, and she was very much into Nigerian culture and Nigerian foods as well. So we would
Mm,
do Nigerian food together, we'll do British food together. She would talk to me when it was any holiday, she would talk to me. As we're doing stuff, she would explain to me why we're doing it. So she taught me a lot as well. So it was easy to assimilate.
mm,
It was beautiful. It was just seeing the beautiful mix of both cultures. I
mm.
loved seeing her dressing up in her wrappers. My uncle, they looked so regal together and we would go out together. And I was like the last born. I was carrying her bag. So it was really lovely. I had a happy time here. I've loved every minute of it.
That's fantastic because a lot of times when I've heard some stories of Nigerian children who I think African children generally who left their home country to move to the UK and US, and Canada alone to school. Some of them don't end well because they didn't get the right influence and what's the word I want to use? Guidance to guide them and also to influence them. So I'm really happy that you had a good time. I'm happy. My nephew too. Sometimes I ask him, "Do you want to go back to Nigeria?" He says, "No, no, no. I'm not going back to Nigeria." He's very happy. He's very happy. And something that this country does for our children, because in Nigeria we like to cuddle our children. We kind of cocoon our children because of the environment we find ourselves in. But here, children learn to be independent very early in life.
Mm,
So imagine a
yeah.
boy of 16 years working in Nigeria. It will never. What kind of work are you going to do in Nigeria?
No.
Parents
Yeah.
won't let you
Yeah.
do that. It's people who are looking for money that will let their children go out there and go and work. But it helps to make the children more independent. It helps to mature them really fast. I look at my nephew. He was here last week. He spent a week with us before he went back to where he stays. I look at him and I compare him to the boy I knew just a few years ago in Nigeria. I can see the maturity. I can see
Good.
it.
Good.
Really, when you say you had a really good time, staying with your aunt and uncle, it gladdens my heart because it's good to hear. We'd like to hear more of these kinds of stories more than the ones
Mm,
that didn't end well. All right, so now
mm.
let's talk about Nigerian women in the UK. Let's talk about it. It's a friend, a secondary school classmate of mine, told me about the group. She sent me the link and then I joined. And when I joined, I just stayed back. I was quiet. I was just listening, reading, watching, trying to understand the group. And I belong to so many Facebook groups. The other day I was counting. I think I counted up to 50 before I stopped.
I'm in
So
a lot as well.
yeah. So I had even forgotten I was a member of those groups. I had to start deleting some and then I got tired and I stopped. So it's one of the few groups where I'm active in. Learn a lot. I don't think I'm in any Facebook group where I've learned as much. I love the sisterhood, love the info. You know how these things that people say about women generally, those negative things. I don't see it in Nigeria or in the UK. I don't see, all those squabbles. Everybody's so mature. People, you see intelligent women speaking and writing. In fact, I'm a writer and I'm very proud of my writing. But when I saw women writing that group, I'm like, what? Because you have to go up your game, because so what made you start that group?
I'd already started my charity in Nigeria. I was helping women and children escape abuse in Nigeria, helping with school fees, helping with medical emergencies, paying for things. So I thought, okay, I'm doing this already there in Nigeria and I'm here. Let me also do something for the women here. Let me build a community here for us. As I'm building one in Nigeria, let me build one here for us because we need that support. I wanted to go to a party and I didn't know any Nigerian people to call for makeup, to do my hair, and I thought, let's put something together for us by us. Let's help us integrate. Over time, the vision has, and that's why I started it in the first place. And over time, the vision has grown, and so the things I was doing for people in Nigeria, I'm also doing them here, supporting women going through domestic abuse. We saw the influx of a lot of people when the healthcare visa came out, the US healthcare visa came out. And so that's when influx of people came in. And then that's when the work really began. We then realized, okay, all these people are here. We need to then put better structures in to support them. And so we've helped with domestic abuse because a lot of the issues that come out of this sponsorship was a lot of um, what's the word? People taking advantage of migrants.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had to have safeguarding team, domestic abuse team, and then other little bits and pieces. We also have a lady who takes us in exercises. We do exercises every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, 5 to 6 on Zoom,
Oh,
so that
really?
our well-being,
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
so that, yeah, it's really outside of the group. Yeah,
Please, I
five
need
to
to in the evening or in the mornings.
morning. The thing is, it's the morning. So a lot of people don't really like it. 5 to 6 every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We join her. She takes us through exercises just so that we're a little bit healthier. And she was the one that helped organize the 5K walk we did in London this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We had a group walk and a barbecue. So we did 5K in the park, in Burgess Park in London, and then we had a nice barbecue afterwards. So we do exercises. We travel a lot. We've traveled to Bali, Singapore, Cyprus, Paris. We're going to Morocco next month. We're doing Montenegro, Egypt, and Romania next year. So these are opportunities that, and some people, they don't have friends, they don't have anybody to go with. So these are opportunities for them to be able to travel and see the world. We're also starting a new program to support women that are here alone having kids because we've had a few women. We had one lady, she messaged me a few weeks ago. She had a baby. Her husband is working. She was breastfeeding. She fell asleep. The baby slipped out of her hands and fell and broke his femur. So I had to then speak to ladies in the group. Two people went to see her. One person just helped her clean the house. Another person just helped her look after the baby so she could get some rest. So we want to create Nigerian Women UK Companion so that we can have companions for these women that can just support them through this time. So that's a project that we are working on currently. But we have a lot of little projects that we are doing because all work and no play. So we give the women opportunity to also unwind. So as they're going through the issues, they're also having space and time to party and let their head down and just feel free, speak to other women, I mean, the barbecue we had, the women had such a fantastic time. We were just playing games. After walking, we came back. We just played games, talking about ourselves, and every single person loved it. I loved it. We were just a time of sisterhood,
Mm,
no pretending. We were just ourselves. And the game, very competitive. It was just an amazing time. It's just that we're trying to get rid of that stereotype that women don't like each other
exactly.
or people are difficult. No, we're not. You just need to make sure you're in the right community. You
Mm-hmm,
have the right people around you.
mm-hmm,
That's what we're doing. So yeah, there's a lot more that will come out of this. We've supported about 150 families in the last year who have had domestic abuse issues. So we just support them through it. No, sorry, not domestic, safeguarding issues.
mm-hmm.
We support them. We talk to them, help them, advise them on what to say. Even this morning, I went to school with one of our members because her son was accused of something. So I went to school with her just to be there to support her as we're talking to the head mistress and the safeguarding. So the thing is, we're just there for each other. You need a community around you. It's very important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. I wish I had known about the group much earlier. I think it was just last year. I think it was last year I joined that my friend, I don't know why she just sent it to me. And she's not active in the group. She's not even active. But one day she just sent me and she said, Ngo, I think you'll like this group. I think you'll do well in this group. She not sent me the link. I wish I had known about it. I think I've lived here for about 4 years and I just got to know about this community last year. I wish I had known much earlier. There are so many, choices that I wouldn't have made because no
Okay.
matter people always say when you move abroad, excuse me, that when you move abroad, get information. It's true,
Mm.
but you can't get all the information. There's some things that you don't even think about. So you don't bother asking some questions surrounding those things. So, but if you're in a community or in a group where maybe someone else had an issue and then you read about it, you're like, oh, okay, so I won't do this or I will do this
Yeah,
to avoid this. So there's a lot of information in that group. That's what really makes me like it. There's so much information, so much. If for people that are there, I would encourage every Nigerian woman who lives in the UK to go and join Nigerian women in the UK, the Facebook group and then the Telegram group. There's so much information, so much. So another question I want to ask, that brings me to my next question. With all these things, like I said earlier when I was introducing you, that being the founder of Nigerian Women in the UK is enough work. Is enough work. I'm not an admin member. I'm not in any committee. I just there read posts. I make my posts sometimes. I make my comments. And I can see it's a lot of work. Nobody needs to tell me. How do you manage your time? How do you cope without burning out? How do you cope without getting overwhelmed with your family and living in the UK? No childcare. It's just you, your children, and your husband with your job and then your online business and all that. How do you cope? How do you manage your time?
it's difficult.
Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being honest because when you ask lots of women this question, they'll tell you, oh, if you just do this or if you just do that,
It's
thank you for
difficult.
saying it's difficult. Yeah, thank you.
It's difficult. Today I was frazzled. I was like, Tobore, relax. But I think the thing with me is I am organized and I know how to self-regulate myself
Mm,
and I know how to calm myself down. So, and I have a very supportive family. My husband is supportive of the work I do. He helps. We both run the home together. So everything with regards to the kids, we know the kids are a priority. So we put them first because in all of this that we're doing is for them. So we make sure that they're okay first, and
mm,
then the job. Luckily, I have a very good boss, and we have good work-life balance at work, and so I'm able to do my work and do this as well on the side. I have a really amazing team in Nigeria and in UK. The admins, the moderators, the project administrators, they're all amazing. They put in a lot of work as well. They help. We meet regularly, the board of advisors. So we have this whole network of people who are supporting the work that we do. And they're
mm,
all volunteers. All of them are volunteering their time. And they're all doing amazing work. They're all supporting the women safeguarding team as well. They're all volunteers. They have their day jobs. In the evenings when they come out, I'm like, okay, this person has called. She needs help. They've taken a child. This person needs this, and they will get on and they will call. You know, I get messages 24 hours a day. You know, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, I check my phone, I'll be like, okay, call this person back, you know? So it is a bit difficult, but I also take time, take out time to relax. I'm going to Morocco this month. Yay! With the women. So that will be 5 days of relaxing. You know, we've
Mm,
already planned all our activities. We have a retreat next year. We're going away for 2 days. So the way I plan it is that I also relax.
mm,
So even though I'm kind of organizing it, I've set everything in motion. This retreat is in June next year. Everything is already prepped and ready.
mm,
So when the time comes, I'm not stressing.
mm-hmm.
Everything is in motion, and everything has a backup. I have a backup for everything, and I have people I can call on, and then I know when to say, okay, this is taking up too much time, or you wait until later. So I prioritize. Having said that, I have over 5,000 unread messages on WhatsApp, and they will stay unread.
How many did you say? How many?
Over 5,000, and they will stay unread.
Yeah. Thank you for being honest. Really. Thank you. Because sometimes as human beings we try to compare ourselves with others. So when you find that you've done your best, at least the best you know, and it's still not working, and then you look at somebody else who is seemingly doing better than you are doing, you're like, you start to feel guilty, you start to second guess yourself, you start to question yourself, and you start to feel like a failure. So I'm really so happy that you've been very honest with the answers that you're giving us today. And I'm also happy that you talked about rest. African women, in fact, maybe I should just talk to Nigerian women, should learn to rest, where, especially those who live abroad. I was talking to somebody, a lady in my church, and we had a meeting in church for the women. I had a meeting, and I asked her if the date that we fixed was okay for her. She said she was free on that day, but she was planning to work. She had 2 days off. She was still planning to work those 2 days. I said,
Wow. No, you need to rest. The money, you will leave it for your next of kin.
rest, nah, I don't understand.
No, no,
Now,
you have to
the
rest.
2 days that they gave you to rest, don't work. Stay at home. Stay at home.
Mm,
Enjoy time with your children. If your children are in school, better for you. Just stay at home, rest, lie down on your bed, scroll through
mm.
your phone, read a book, sleep, watch a movie, whatever. Just rest. But they don't always like to understand that. Someone once told me when I was telling her this same thing, she said, please, oh, she needs to make money. She needs to make money. People at home are crying for money. I said, but nobody then send you come this UK. Oh. So there's got to be a way. So please, can you tell
The
us more about
balance.
that rest thing? Talk to us, talk to the woman listening to us.
It's important to rest. It's important because you will break down. And if anything happens to you and you lose your life, your people, your next of kin will enjoy the money. All the
Mm-hmm.
money you sleep over. And the children, you will still abandon them here. So please prioritize your health. Your health, go for your checkup, rest. For me, if I stay up late 2 nights in a row, the next 2 nights I go to bed early.
Mm,
I then say, you know what, all these meetings cancelled. I'm going to rest because I need to make up for the 2 nights that I was up too late.
mm,
The messages, they can wait.
yeah.
It's only if it's urgent. But some messages, they can wait till the next day. It's important that you prioritize your health. It's very, very important. Because if anything happens to you, everybody will move on.
Yes, everybody will
Everybody will
move
move
on.
on.
Yeah, everybody will move on. So it's really important. I hope that the woman listening to this today would really take that to heart. Rest is so, so, so important. Even the bills can wait. That bill you think you're going to pay, if you're no longer here, they will forget about the bill. They'll cancel it if there's no one to pay it. That bill will be cancelled. So it's really, really important. Rest is important.
Can I also add that please make sure that everybody has health life insurance? It's very important, please, for everybody to have life insurance
Mm,
because if anything happens to you, you don't want the people around you, your family, to suffer
mm,
financial devastation because you are no
mm,
longer there. You want them to be able to continue. So
mm.
it's important that everyone gets that, please.
We've been talking a lot about this life insurance in the group. Been talking a lot about it. Anyway, let me not talk about that. Maybe another time. When next I talk to you, I'll bring it up. So you also mentioned that you have a digital business.
Yes. Uh,
So tell us why you decided to do a digital business, and you tell us more about what the business is about.
I love learning. So my first degree, I have a master's degree in pharmacy. But then after that, I worked for about 3 years. I got bored, and then I started doing HR recruitment, and now I've ended up in projects and in Scrum, in Agile. So I love learning. And with the advent of AI, I decided to do a lot more digging into AI. So I've done a lot of courses on AI, and that's why I've decided to also teach people about it. So it's I've done different things. I've written a few books and put together a few courses, and I'm also passionate about finances because a lot of people, Nigeria is a cash-driven society. And then you come in here, which is a credit-driven society, and some people don't know how to manage that. I had a lot of problems, and I learned the hard way on managing my credit cards, managing my credit score, managing my loans. So I learned the hard way, and it took me a lot of years. And I don't want people to go through that. So all the things, all the mistakes I made, all the things I learned, I've mixed it up, put it together, and just trying to make it easier for women so that they do not make the same mistakes because it can be really tough. It's and if you, something that take you years to learn, if you just learn it now, you know what to do to make sure you do not fall into the same pits, you do not fall into the same traps. So I think it's important. So I mix finance and AI, and that's what I teach on my website. It's Mitch Rich Meg. It's Mitch MICHRICHMEG, mitchrichmeg.com. That's my website. So there's a lot of different things on there. And I also help people save money on their bills. I work with Utility Warehouse. I'm a partner. So, people talk about this residual income. And I realized that with Utility Warehouse, if I build my business for long enough, I will have a residual income, which will come to me and also go to my children if anything happens to me. So I'm building wealth, not just for myself for now, but also for my kids. So at the same time, I'm saving people on their bills. So everything kind of ties in together in that whole finance and saving and while making money while at it. Yeah. So those are the other stuff I do.
Would you advise African women who live in the UK or just living abroad generally? Would you advise them to go more into online or digital businesses? And if you do, why? If you do, why? If you don't, why?
I would. And why is there is money available online. And the jobs, there are not as many jobs as there were before. A lot of companies are downsizing. You go to work one day, they'll just tell you, oh, sorry, but you are downsizing, your job is at risk. I know so many people who have lost their jobs in the last 2 years. And I used to work as a recruiter, so I understand the market, and I can see that there's hardly any jobs now. So right now, for security, I think it's better to go online. The money is there. The platforms will pay you. You just need to be able to generate content. But there is money and there's people that are willing to spend the money, and there's things that are available. So there's lots of different things to do online. You can teach AI. You can use AI to create stories. You can write books. You can do loads. You can save on bills. Everything is online. Anything you can do now is online, and you're making different revenue streams. So if one shuts down, there's another thing. COVID taught us a lot. Like if you only had one job and one stream of income and your job was cut off, that was the end. There was nothing else coming in. And so that taught us that, you know what, you should have at least 2 or 3. And, and they should be passive. So not so active where you are. You can put in a bit of work in the beginning, but afterwards, it should be something that should just be coming into you. You're just waking up and you're saying that, oh, money is coming. Oh, somebody has paid me, So at the beginning, you can put in the work, but later on, it should be something that should be coming. And it's as long as you're giving value, the most important thing is make sure you're giving good value for the money. People are paying you for this. Make sure that it's worth it for them. And that's what I'll say.
It's one thing, I agree with you that everybody, both men and women, should find something to do online. But it's one thing to write the book, create the course, and do the webinars. It's one thing to do that, but it's another thing to market and to actually sell. Do you have any tip that you can give to the woman who's listening to this podcast today? Any tip on how they can market themselves and then sell what they have?
So, funny you asked that. I met Paul at.
Hey, Paul is my coach.
I met him on Sunday for the second time.
He went to Manchester.
Yes.
He said so. Yes.
Yes. I met him there, and I told him about the community, and he's excited. He can't wait to come to speak to us. So he has a session he's doing this week about how to make sales with AI. So I've paid. I'm on the course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I paid for the course. I'm going there to learn. So the thing is that I'm paying. I remember talking to a
Mm-hmm.
lady and she was saying to me, "Oh, sis, I know you do a lot of stuff for free, but there's a few that you charge. Why are you charging?" I said, "Sis, but you know that me, I pay for the knowledge I have.
Exactly.
You know that I spent about £2,000 since from January to June just learning about different things to do with AI. It's not free. I invest in myself
Mm-hmm.
because I want the best knowledge for myself. So
Mm-hmm.
and I use it for myself. And then whatever else I have, I then share with others. So I said, you know what? Once he told me about the course this Sunday, I paid for it. He's going to teach us how to make sales.
Yeah.
Because yes, we're all doing the great things, but then it's getting people to then tap into your brand. But I think it's just be your authentic self because Nigerian women in UK is about my authentic self. The way people respond, people are kind, right? People are nice to each other. People are helpful. I think it's because that's the way I am, and that's why the group is that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today somebody made a post which got a few people really upset, and I just said, you know what, ladies, I've deleted this post. I don't like the way you're speaking to each other on this post,
Mm.
so I've deleted it. I want everybody to sit down and think about the way they've spoken today. Everybody to the naughty corner.
Exactly. Mother talking to her naughty children.
Everybody to the naughty corner. Think about the way you've spoken today because there are ways, and I have to always remind us that there are ways you can pass your message across without being rude. It's all about being able to communicate effectively. You don't have to be rude, but I can
Mm.
just say to you, I don't like the way you spoke to me, or I don't think what you've said is correct. And this is the reason why. But I don't
Mm.
have to be insulting while at it. So you have to be your authentic self, and your brand should have that thing. When people see it, they should see it's you. And I remember somebody said, "Oh, Nigerian men in UK," they were like, "Oh, who created it?" And they were like, "Oh, it's Tobore." They were like, "Oh, and I know it will be good
Mm.
because they know that I just like things to be good,
Mm.
excellent."
Really, yeah. Because I noticed that a lot of women's groups sometimes people get catty sometimes when someone doesn't like what you said or the way you said what you said, and the next thing they're talking to each other anyhow. That hardly ever happens in Nigerian women in the UK. And even when someone does it, you see someone else calling out that person and they say, and then they'll actually say sis. They don't abuse you. They say please, the way you spoke, you could have done it better. I've seen things
Yeah.
like that. And that's the reason why one of the reasons why I love that community. That's one of the reasons. The sales training on Sunday I can't attend, and it's not expensive. It's just I think that is in naira about 50K or so.
50,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
In
50K.
pounds and dollars, like I think it's £20 or £30 or something like that. It's not expensive,
£25.40. That's
but
what I paid. Yeah.
yeah, he's my coach. It's because of him I started this podcast. He mentored me for a
Wow.
couple of weeks. Yes, he
Wow.
mentored me and he just pushed me. I said, bros, 2 weeks is too small now. He said, just go and do it because he can do it, and that's how I started doing it. He's a
Okay.
wonderful guy.
He
Sunday,
is.
because this Sunday is the first Sunday of the month, and you know what we do in my church, first Sunday of every month in the evenings. So I'm going to be in church. I'm not going to be able to attend it. So I said, well, something else will come up. And I really like to attend, but something. So if you're listening to this, if there's anybody listening to this before Sunday, hopefully somebody will be listening to this, and you want to learn how to make sales with AI, please reach me at ngozijason1@gmail.com. I'll send you the link to register for the training. Fo is a wonderful. In fact, I told him that he's a pastor. It's just that his work is not inside the church.
He is. It's amazing.
His work is not
Oh,
inside.
I told him about the community. So he said he's going to give us lots of really nice gifts and he's really interested in coming to support the community. So it's really amazing. I'm looking forward to doing a lot of great work with him.
That'll be great. He's a great teacher. He's a wonderful teacher. He has a heart for helping people, so and he's my first male coach. Every coach I've ever had is female. Somehow, I don't know, I gravitate towards women. But for some reason, I don't know, God just led me to him. God just led me to him. He's a wonderful guy. He's a really good coach. So I'm looking forward to the community also learning from him. And then finally, my last question. How can listeners, anybody listening here, support or get involved in the initiatives that you're involved in or that you're passionate about, the one you're doing in Nigeria and then Nigerian women in the UK? How can they get involved if they're interested? Or can they even get involved?
Oh, yes, they can. Everyone can get involved. You can join if you're a Nigerian woman living in the UK, you can join our Facebook group by just typing Nigerian women in UK into Facebook and you will see the group there. We have a website, nigerianwomeninuk.com. So you can just go there as well. So not www, just nigerianwomeninuk.com. If you
Okay.
go to our website, you'll see our social media handles as well. You can send an email to us, admin@nigerianwomeninuk.com. So you can reach out to us as well with any messages, anything you want to do. If you're a man or you're a woman of African origin and you want to be involved in any way, please speak to us. We are open to partnerships, we're open to sponsorships, we're open to you coming to speak to the community. There's something amazing that you feel the women will benefit from. Please come share with us. We're happy to hear it. We're all looking forward to growing and just being positive members of this community. And that's just what it's about. Just making sure that where we are, we're settled, we're happy, and everything is going on fine. With the regards to Nigeria, what I do in Nigeria is mostly through my Facebook page, where when people come to me with cases, I post about it and say, okay, right now we're trying to raise money for this 5-year-old girl whose mom put her hands in hot water. The mom said she was scratching her privates. And so she thought to punish her. She boiled hot water and put the baby girl's 2 hands. We've spent about 1.5 million naira already on surgeries. We've done one surgery already. There's a second one that needs to be done. And we're trying to raise some more money for that. And it turns out that actually the child was being abused, molested, and that was why she was scratching in the first place. But you can see the level of ignorance that some of these parents have, the kind of talk, and the little baby's in so much pain. Every time I'm sent her videos when they're changing her dressings, she's crying. It's really bad. And we're worried she might lose her left hand. But that's another battle we're facing. And there's loads. There's another lady who cried out to me. She needs money to do surgery on her son. She needs money for that. There's so many people who are just in need and there's nowhere to turn to, which is just so sad. So whenever I can, I just do what I can to help those that I can help. That's it.
Okay, so if anybody wants to be involved with the work you're doing in Nigeria, they can reach you on your personal
My
page
Facebook,
of Facebook. Okay,
yes,
and your
Tobore
name
and
is Facebook.
Imoropo.
Okay, Tobore.
Tobore and Imoropo.
All right, so it's been so wonderful, listening to you and talking to you today. Usually, when I tell you guests, we don't usually speak more than 30 minutes. It is just you, and there's one other lady, a Nigerian lady who lives in Germany. I had to force myself to stop talking. We spoke for about 50 minutes, and I'm looking at the clock here, I'm looking at the timer. We are getting towards the 15 minutes. Because I have loads of questions to ask you, loads of questions, but let's not make this podcast too long. Thank you so much. But before we close, any last words? Do you have anything to say to the Nigerian woman who came into the UK within the last 5 years? Any last words for them before we close?
We see you, we love you, we care about you, and you will make it. It might not look like it right now. You might be going through so much. It's difficult in the beginning. For the first few years, it might be difficult, but eventually you will overcome and it will be better.
Thank you. You spoke to me. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for taking our time. I know you're a very busy person. We've been planning this interview for months.
We
And
have been.
finally, it has happened. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. We really appreciate you. And hopefully, maybe sometime in the next 1 year or 6 months, we'll call you again. And I hope that you answer our call and come back for another interview on another aspect of living in the UK for the Nigerian woman or even for the African woman at large. Thank you. I appreciate you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.